Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Puppeteering channel. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today we're going to be continuing with what I said a while back, and that is going to be the operator files for Jackel. So, as I said, it's going to be a bit different. The operator files from now on, I'm going to have a lot more information on the backstory. Um, so yeah, let's just get straight into it. But firstly, I want to say that Jackel is one of those operators that makes something of himself against all the odds that came around and what happened to him. Um, so let's start with where he was born. He was born in Quata, Spain, and his real name is Riyad Ramirez Al Hassar, and he was born on the leap day of February 29th, which makes him 49. So going into his background, we don't really know much about his Riyad's parents, except for the fact that they did abandon him and his brother, who was named Fasal, at a very early age, which pushed the two boys, obviously, into the foster care system. After being torn apart from their parents, after leaving the two brothers, they created a strong bond together, and that was the one thing that they both relied on, and that's what kept them going. However, this wasn't the only problem that Riyad had when he was young. At 9 years old, Spain was having what you could say a tough time with the death of the Spanish dictator in 1975, which is when the country decided to fight itself into it fought to become a democratic country. There we go. Which obviously, in the when this was happening, it made crime and terrorist acts climb, which had an impact on anyone that was trying to live a simple life in Spain, as you can imagine. However, the two brothers were more focused on where they were going to sleep at night, where they were with families one week and they were with a different family the next week. They didn't know if they loved them. They didn't know if they wanted to keep them or not. They just didn't know the foreseeable future. However, after a couple of years, things were on the rise for the brothers, as Fasil, Jackel's brother, was finally of legal age to leave the fostering system, and was therefore old enough to become Jackel's legal guardian. However, it was after this that the true realization of what was going on in Spain came around. It was on the night It was on the cold night of October 8th, 1985, when tragedy sadly struck that changed Jackel's life forever. And that was his brother was murdered. However, we don't know much information of why this happened or why he was specifically targeted. But what we do know is when the police arrived on scene, all they could see was Jackel sat next to his brother's lifeless body. And he wouldn't leave his side. Jackel was also then treated on scene for injuries, as whoever killed his brother also tried killing him. However, he did survive. Later on, due to the lack of evidence and witnesses, the case of Jackel's brother's murder was called a cold case because they couldn't investigate it and they couldn't get any evidence and nothing towards it, so they just closed it. Ryan's entire life was now turned upside down, with his brother now dead, which was the only thing who ever cared. It was the only thing he mattered about. It was the only person that ever cared about him. After this, his sole mission was to find the person that killed his brother. He was then helped by a kind police officer that was on scene that saw his despair when he just laid there, and he said he would try his best to track down the killer, no matter what happened. Even though he had no evidence, no witnesses, he would still try. Later on, when Jackel was at legal age, he then joined the Policia Nacional, which is the national police force in Spain, which he flew up the ranks. He flew straight through training because he was so determined to do his brother proud. He was so good he was actually promoted to a CNP officer for Spain. However, after solving many cases, he believed his expertise could be used elsewhere. And it was at this moment that he joined the Grupo Especial de Operaciones, or the GEO. which he was used for tracking down high priority suspects and targets throughout Spain. However, Jackel received insomnia, to the fact he would stay up and think about his brother and that how he was still not able to solve his case, which he still, up to this point, hasn't solved his case. In 2017, Team Rainbow were looking for new recruits from Spain and called upon Jackel and his co-worker Mira from the GEO to help them protect from the threat of terrorism. Jackel therefore accepted the job and joined Team Rainbow. Upon recruitment, Jackel was met by the psychiatrist Dr. Harry Pandy, who is now the head of Rainbow, where he was deemed the operator to be the nearest to losing his mind due to the lack of sleep and all the thoughts running around his head, which you can understand. During his join-up, he did become great friends with mainly Thatcher, Twitch, Lion, and Mira. Thatcher is one because he was always just so there for people. Lion as well, because obviously with his backstory and what he's been through, he could relate to Jackel. And obviously Mira, because they came from the same department, they came from the same area, and they knew what was happening at the time. Which leads on to Jackel's ability. The Inox Model 3 that is used for tracking optics that locates targets by revealing and identifying recent footsteps, which Mira actually made, a bit like most gadgets within the Team Rainbow. However, Jackel did have a big influence in this. So, this just shows that a lot of Team Rainbow operators come from a dark past, but obviously they have the commitment to keep going, to never give up, to give something back. They always want what's best for their country. So that's basically the main part of his backstory that you do need to know, and we'll go into a bit of information about his weapons here. So his primary weapons are the C7E assault rifle, as you can see on screen here, and the PDW-9 submachine gun, as well as the ITA-12L, which is the L stands for large. His secondary weapons, are going to be the USP-40 pistol and basically the small Italian 12 shotgun. You can also bring a Claymore's smokes. At the time of recording, I'm going to say that because I don't know what can happen to the future of Jackel. He's also a 2 speed, 2 health. However, he's also a 3 difficulty. He's not that hard. I don't think it justifies being a 3 difficulty. But yeah, so that's basically the background of Jackel. I'll show you some clips now, so you guys can see what he's like in game.
Let's see what happens.
Yes. I'm extremely vulnerable.
Hold this on up here. No, never mind.
Fuck sake. Another motherfucker.
15 seconds remaining. 4 last stops. 10 seconds left.
I'll just... Did I hear a clash?
Yeah.
I did. Shit!
Well, there we go, everybody. There was a few nice clips there, especially a few with a few reactions from Evan, I'm going to say. There were some good clips, I must say. But yeah, that's everything you need to know about Jackel. Also, before we end the video here, I just want to let you know that we have chosen the next operator for the next Operator Files series, and that is going to be Goyo. Yeah, Goyo, that's going to be a different one. I wasn't expecting to get him, but that's what the randomizer said, so he's going to be the next one. That should be out within a week. I'm going to try and push these out a bit more. But yeah, that's going to be it for the Operator Files for Jackel. I hope to see all of you in the next video or stream. Thanks for watching. You've watched Piper Kieran. Later.